Hello, brothers and sisters. This is my first video, even though I've been around the YouTube community for a while, and I've commented on many of your videos. And no, I do not look like the cute little puppy, but I wanted to get this video out without worrying about vain things like how I look. I will be uploading another video soon with my picture. Brothers and sisters, the Lord has put it on my heart to create this video. He started by revealing some things to me back in the summer of 2011. The focus was on Revelation chapter 12, which talks about the woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet. And as I searched YouTube, I saw that others were talking about Revelation 12 also. And in fact, some people had discovered a program called Stellarium, a software program where they could actually put in and look at the star configuration. They pulled up Virgo, which would be symbolic to the woman, and they put it in, and they found that on September 30th, 2011, that the exact same configuration that was talked about in Revelation 12 could actually be seen in the program. And by the way, this was the beginning of the Feast of Trumpets, the Lord's Feast. And so when I heard that, I became very interested, because I know that the Lord has been actually putting something on me, and I had to drive to read about Revelation 12 and find out about it. Now, many of the watchers was talking about the rapture occurring during the Feast of Trumpets. Now, I wasn't quite sure that I believe that the rapture, as it was being taught or being discussed, was going to happen, but I knew that there was a gathering that was to occur. And so I said, well, could this rapture be what the Bible speaks of as a gathering? Well, September 30th came and went, basically uneventful. And all the YouTube watchers, including myself, was very disappointed, because we just kind of knew that it was such a spiritual high during that time that something was going to happen. In fact, I remember commenting on some of the watchers' page saying, I'm sure we had the date right, but we probably had the event wrong. And brothers and sisters, that's exactly what happened. We had the date right, but we didn't have the event correct. So in Revelation chapter 10, verse 10, the Bible talks about something that's referred to, well, I call it the bitter belly experience. And this is where John is telling, the angel is telling John to take a little book and eat it up, and it's going to make it's going to be sweet in your mouth, but when it gets to your stomach, it's going to be bitter. And I kind of relate that to the experience that we had. We looked around and we saw all that was happening during the Feast of Trumpets, and all the watchers were encouraging people. And then we got past it and nothing happened. So it was sweet in our mouth because we were looking for it, but when it passed, we had a bitter belly experience. But rest assured, brothers and sisters, God is in control. So, and he's telling us now that we need to stand up, take the book of Daniel, read it, ingest it, and go out and prophesy again. So in a nutshell, the purpose of this video is to tell you that we had the date right, but we had the wrong event. God is telling us that the book of Daniel is now open, and we must take it, eat it, understand it, and prophesy again. The book of Daniel is an end-time book that parallels Revelation. They both contain many of the same prophecies, but unlike Revelation, which is an open book, the book of Daniel was shut up by God until the time of the end. God has revealed to me that the book of Daniel is now open. Daniel and Revelation must be studied together to get the full picture of end-time events. The book of Daniel is that little book in Revelation 10 that the mighty angel who comes down to the earth is holding in his hand. The book of Daniel holds the key to understand what is happening or what happened during the Feast of Trumpet, which we were all waiting for. In the rest of this video, I will show you the connection and reveal to you what happened on September 30th, 2011. I will use a series of questions and answers to walk you through it. I will show you the great mystery revealed to me by God. To begin, let's start by looking at the prophecies in Daniel. Everyone has heard of the 70-week prophecy. The book of Daniel, chapter 9, contains this famous prophecy, verses 24 through 27. Everyone has heard about it because there's so much controversy about it. But the one thing is clear. The reason for the 70-week prophecy in Daniel is that Daniel wanted to know when God was going to accomplish or finish the 70-week prophecy of desolation on Jerusalem spoken by Jeremiah the prophet. In other words, when will the prophecy end and when will Jerusalem be restored? You can find this in Daniel 9, verse 2. That is not the only thing that Daniel wanted to find out. In chapter 12, we are told that there are some crucial things that will be happening in the last days. We also want to know about these things. For example, when will the Archangel Michael stand up? We're told that it's going to be a time of trouble that is like nothing that has ever been. We're told that Daniel's people will be delivered and everyone else that's written in the book. We're told about a resurrection that's going to occur. In fact, at least 2 resurrections. And we're told that the wise will shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they turn many to righteousness as the stars forever. Daniel wanted to know when these things would happen, and so do we. But up until now, we have not had any real timeline to anchor these events to, except for the returning of Jerusalem from Gentile rule, which happened in June of 1967. Daniel asks the angel about these events and when they would happen. So let's just read a little bit in Daniel chapter 12. Let's start with Daniel 11 for continuity. So we're going to start with Daniel 11, verse 45. And he shall plant the tabernacle of his palace between the seas and the holy mountain, yet he shall come to his end, and none should happen. I'm not quite sure who that is, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be revealed before long. Daniel chapter 12. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, even to the same time. And at that time the people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. And they that are wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness as stars forever. I think I'm going to have to continue this, so we'll continue. I'm going to do another video to finish this, and we'll be reading starting on the next video. We'll start with Daniel 12 verse 4.